Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So on our social media over the last week or so, we've had a lot of comments and a lot of questions about how can I improve my positivity, my mindset? How do I overcome problems and issues in my life? We've had a real explosion of questions around that topic, around how we optimize our mental positivity and optimism, how we cope with setbacks. So I thought I would just come on and briefly talk about some profoundly time tested but now neurologically evidence based ways for battle proofing our positivity and optimism. Okay. And what made me think of it was a quote that I read the other day, which says that the life you're living now, no matter how bad it is, will be a dream to your 90-year-old self. Okay, the life you're living now will be a dream to your 90-year-old self or 95-year-old self. And by that, it means that when we are aged and diseased and frail and ill and bedridden and when we've lost our independence, it will come to all of us, whether it's at 75, 95, 105, we're all going to get there. And when we're in that place, the life we're living now, where we've got energy and vitality and freedom and the ability to move and a family and love and all these kind of things, that will be a dream come true to our 90-year-old self. And that in turn led me to think of what I think is one of the most powerful quotes or concepts in the whole field of positive psychology and emotional mastery, which is Memento Mori. Okay, Memento Mori, which was coined originally by Socrates, the famous Greek philosopher. And from the Latin, it means remember that you must die. Okay, remember that you must die. And that's not in any way, shape, or form meant to come across as a dark or negative concept, but rather by keeping our mindset on, our mind on our mortality, on the fact that we're here for a very brief period of time. Even if we live to be 100, it's still a blink of an eye. And by realizing that very, very quickly our life will end, it motivates us and inspires us to live more brightly, to every day live more passionately, live more fully, live with more meaning and purpose and excitement and joy. And we can then funnel that down into what I think are the two most powerful practices or approaches for battle proofing our positivity. So if we are feeling, if we are feeling negative, or we're feeling down, or we're feeling, unmotivated, or we're trying to deal with problems and setbacks, these are the two practices that I think work tremendously well based upon what I've seen in the past professionally, clinically, and from the research. Okay, the first one is perspective and learning to cultivate resilience from motivational books. Okay, because whatever situation we find ourselves in, and some of the messages I've had on social media have been, some of them have been quite significant, quite challenging. There's always people who have been in worse situations, and reading about how these people have dealt with those, awful situations and how they've approached them and how they've overcome them. And one of the books I would recommend is Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning. Okay, written by a Jewish psychiatrist and psychotherapist who was sent to Auschwitz. And it is a treatise on how we always have control of our mind. We always have control of our beliefs. No one can ever take away our emotional and mental freedom and autonomy. And we have the ability to choose our response to any situation. So when we're feeling, we're losing our focus or losing our positivity, or like we're being beaten by an external situation or event, the way that I think can help us really cultivate resilience and positivity is to learn from people who've gone before us, who've overcome, issues like concentration camps, like apartheid. Okay, like the civil rights movement, all of these kinds of things. So, Nelson Mandela, Viktor Frankl, Martin Luther King. There's a brilliant book called When Breath Becomes Air, which is about a surgeon's way of dealing with a terminal prognosis. And these things, they're not negative, they're profoundly positive, okay? And they can help battle-proof us, they can help cultivate resilience. And the second thing I would say, which is very much from the Eastern traditions, is make our life an unending, ceaseless flow of gratitude. Okay, this is something that's been taught in the Eastern traditions for millennia. Consciously, constantly bringing our mind onto what's good in our life rather than what's bad in our life. Okay, even when we've got really big problems, the neurological research shows that when we choose to cultivate gratitude, particularly during difficult times, it changes our entire neurochemistry in a way that helps us feel more empowered, more positive. Waking up in the morning, just the fact that you've woken up, hundreds of thousands of people around the world wouldn't have woken up this morning. The fact that you can get out of bed on your own, the fact that you have freedom and independence, that your legs work, okay, that you have a bed to sleep in, that you have a roof over your head, that you have a house to live in, that you've got food in the fridge, that you've got water in the tap, that you've got someone in the house that maybe you live with or love. The more we consciously bring our mind onto what is brilliant and optimistic and positive in our lives, the more our mindset becomes positive and joyful. Okay. And to my mind, there's no practice that can cultivate positivity and optimism and empowerment and excitement for the future and the present day as cultivating gratitude. Okay, and there's two ways of doing that. One is something that I do religiously every morning in a journal, is just write out, 5 things that I'm really grateful for today, that I'm looking forward to today, a couple of things that I did yesterday that I'm grateful for, and even free write about how you're feeling about your problems, but how despite those problems you've got amazing things in your life. Those things can be happening concurrently, and that cultivates gratitude. It changes our neurochemistry, it cultivates positivity. Okay, so everyone who's having a difficult time or is feeling negative or down or facing problems, they would be some of the time tested evidence-based practices I would advocate for cultivating battle-proof positivity. Any questions, do let me know. And as always, please do subscribe to the channel so you stay updated when these videos are released. And I will see you soon.